But I would be curious about your personal highlight, and there may be more than one, and also
In terms of career highs, there's been, I don't know, there's been lots. And, sometimes it's as simple as making a hat for someone who has never really had a hat fit them well. So the joy of seeing them with a product that not only do they love, but fits them and they feel good in it, that's so satisfying.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess, then there's other more obvious highlights, making the hat for Channel 1 to wear to the Queen's funeral was pretty amazing. And the backstory of all of that was so, I love the backstory.
Yeah.
It's, it was that lovely sense of community and collaboration. I'd been in a meeting all morning. There was a 36-hour window, 48-hour window to get a hat to her. She'd done a shout-out via the Lee Sales Annabelle Craig podcast. But I got out of this meeting and I had 2 or 3 missed phone calls and a heap of tags in this post on social media.
Okay.
Fiona Schofield Millinery, can you help out? Fiona, you might be able to do something here. Anyhow, so I read the post and it's a shout-out. Shanna had this window of time where she needed to get a hat and she knew she wasn't going to be able to get something off the rack because she's big head size.
Yeah.
And so I dropped my hat in the ring. I sent through a DM to her and said, I'd be happy to have a chat if you think I might be able to help out. Here's a link to my social media so you can see the sort of work I do. If you think that there might be something there, just... I don't know. It was so late to the party on it, and will you call me? Will you have a personal?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyhow, within 10 minutes, I had 3 or 4 screenshots from her. I like this look. Here's my head size. If you're able to help out, that'd be fabulous. Anyhow, one of the girls who had originally tagged me in the post was a customer and a woman that I know who I really like. And she had said, if you can make it, I can get it to her.
Okay.
So, because I looked at it and I thought, this is nuts. She needs a hat in Sydney tomorrow. Yeah. It's already lunchtime today. She needs a hat in Sydney tomorrow to take with her to London. I don't think I can make that happen. Then, it piques your interest.
Yeah.
So then I was in the work, looking around and going, right, well, Queen's funeral, what would she have to wear? What season is it over there? Okay, what materials would I use? Do I have anything that meets that criteria? Anyhow, I had what I thought I might be able to pitch sort of in the back of my mind that I would be able to physically get made to. And so I sent to her and said, I could do something sort of like this. And she was like, that would be fabulous if you could send that. But I could just, she'd sent through a few things that she'd liked and it didn't quite align with those. And also ticking in the back of my head was, well, it'll be like Ascot. There'll be actual requirements. Does it have to have a face veil? Can her face be seen? Is there a maximum brim size it can be? So, what do you do? Hey, Google, what are the social requirements around hat size for the Queen's funeral, for the monarch's funeral? So, trying to pull up all of this information and process it in real time and start making things and, start on things and exclude and, there might be something in that, we'll pull that through to this. Anyhow, I'd started going off on a bit of a tangent and then I just sat here at the desk for a minute and I thought, no, that's not quite right because I don't think it is her. Thankfully, I'd never met Shannon before, but I'd followed her story. So I felt like I had a bit of context about who she was and what kind of personality she was. But also I dared to have a moment of, well, if by chance she ends up wearing this hat, what do I want it to say about me and my business? So I just stopped for a minute and I pulled everything right back. I just made a really simple, elegant hat, and I just amplified, you know, I brought a few things up to make them a bit more elaborate and generous and statementy, and thought, well, and so there was the original hat idea that I had, which was beautiful as well, and ended up being worn by one of the other delegates.
Right.
And then there was the hat that Shanna ended up wearing.
Yeah.
And so at 8 o'clock, I think it was, I drove up, she popped it on the back seat of her car, and off it went. And I just tried to put it out of my mind then. But as soon as Shanna got it, she was like, oh, this is me. This hat is me. It's so beautiful. It's divine. But hilariously, in the interim, the other person who had pitched a hat as well was the guy who trained me.
Oh,
Neil.
wow.
So there's this lovely, you know, for me there was this lovely full circle moment of, oh, isn't that just great that we're the two people.
Yeah.
He taught me, and now we're the two people who have come to try and,
Yeah.
and I think, you know, that says to me that all those years that I worked with him, he didn't just teach me how to make hats as well. He taught me how to connect with customers and to just be a good person.
Yeah, awesome.
And so, yeah, so she took both the hats later. So I was out walking the dogs, and I got this photo and a voice message from her, and it was Shanna all dressed in her beautiful suit. She wore these gorgeous colours and paddy suit, and standing in front of on this beautiful street in London with my hat on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, you look amazing. And I thought, oh, she's sending me this as, you know, as this is how your hat looked.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just deciding. And I was like, oh, you look fabulous. Are you working out what you're wearing? And she was like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. Within 10 minutes of hopping off the messaging with her, the phone rang, and it was, oh, hi, I'm a journalist from Australian Consolidated Press. I was wondering if you might like to remark on
Nice.
channel. And, you know, it went off from there. That was
Awesome.
wild. That ride was, you know, really, it was fun and exciting and great to have something land on an international platform and such a big event.
Yeah.
For me, it was more about, well, I think that's quite nice. I've always quite liked the Queen.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
So I think it's nice that one of my hats ended up at her send-off.